Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Rooted Podcast. I am so excited to be back on this microphone. We've been gone for a minute, but that's okay. We're back. And as always, and if you're new here, Ben, start us off with the Bible verse, my friend.
The good word today is coming from Genesis 27, chapter 3. Now then, take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me. Y'all, that is plainly written right there in the Bible. The first book of the Bible says, take your bow and quiver and go out to the field and hunt game for me. That is what we do here. We go out to the field and we hunt game. Are we always successful? Absolutely not. But I think that is what this first episode back is going to really dive into and show you guys that it's not always what it may appear, because we hunt hard, we try really hard, but sometimes it just doesn't go like it's supposed to.
No, it does not do that at all. This season, one word to describe it, rough. I mean, this season has been just that. And, though, you do all the planning, you do all the scouting, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. But I'll tell you, this year, Ben, I was real intentional on taking people out who haven't killed a deer in a long time, or maybe trying to get their first buck. And, part of that definitely nipped me some. Always taking some. I mean, I went hunting by myself, I think, once this year. And,
right.
I definitely could have killed some deer, because let me tell you, I've watched a lot of people miss a lot of deer this year.
Man, don't you hate that? You get them right there into it. You get them right in line with that deer, and then a miss happens. But, that's part of the game. You're going to miss. You're going to have those opportunities. Yes, dude, especially with a bow. There has never been a time where I've sat there with a bow in my hand and thought, yeah, I'm guaranteed to kill this deer.
No.
Because it doesn't always happen that way. There's so many variables that go into bow hunting, and that's why it's so difficult and challenging. And that goes back to what you're saying right there of the, having the misses and all that. But the point is that you took the time, you went out and you watched these people try to kill deer. And I think that's very admirable for you to take the time to put people in the stand and introduce them to the hunting, especially with a bow.
It's a really good time, but I'll tell you, man, my wife's uncle, old Jeff, we go out there, and he is dead set on killing a buck. I'll give it to him. This guy is very much dedicated to shooting a buck. And, hey, if that's what you want to shoot, kudos, man. Do that. I will tell you this. I planted this beautiful food plot. I got clover, and I've got I got daikon radishes, and I've got different brassica blend and all this stuff. And we're sitting there, and dude, it is middle of October. Season's just 2-3 weeks old, and nice evening, and the deer just start piling out. I mean, just doosh, doosh. Here comes 2, here comes 3, here comes another, here comes a group of 4. And here we go. They're just piling in. Like I said, he's waiting on a buck. So far, all does. And that's cool. We're watching them. They don't even know we're there. And it's sure enough, the picture-perfect frame every deer hunter looks for is when you look up and you just see beams. And they're just walking out and walking towards you. And you're like, here we go. I said, Jeff, buck, there he is. And he's a really cool buck, really heavy horned deer. Technically a 7-pointer, but it's weird. He's really got, if you didn't know it, he just looks like a really huge 5-pointer. It's the oddest thing. But really cool, unique deer, especially for your first buck and with a bow to top it off. So here comes this big, nice, mature deer. And, of course, he pops out at, 70, 80 yards. And he's just walking and he's mingling. And I'm telling Jeff, okay, we need to get ready because it's fixing to happen. He gets the 40 yards, broadside, everything you could ever want. Still plenty of light out. So, Jeff shoots lines up the shot, shoots, and I mean, I just watched that arrow go shink, right underneath that old deer. And that, of course, that deer was gone. And Jeff was just like, dude, I missed that deer. I couldn't believe it. Well, you know, when you put your 30-yard marker at 40, that tends to not be enough juice in the arrow to get it out there. So life happens, man. Whenever you have that buck in front of you and you're all juiced up and you don't know what to do, sometimes you mess up like that, man. And it's just, it happens, you know? What are you going to do? It's just, it happens.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does happen, man. You get that rush going there, and you know there's 100 different things going through your head at that time. You know, 100 different things. Like, am I gonna hit a twig, or am I gonna move just right, and that deer's gonna see me? Is he gonna bust me? Or, you know, it all builds up and builds up and builds up, and then when you finally release that arrow and it does hit the target, man, you want to talk about an explosion of emotions. I mean, you know how I get. I get absolutely sideways when that actually comes to fruition. But, man, I am so excited, though, that he had the opportunity to at least, you know, pull the trigger on a buck with a bow. Now, you know, I've had several opportunities before that I've missed. I mean, man, if you bow hunt long enough, you're going to miss. Period. End of story. It's just going to happen, and you just have to get back up, get back in the stand, and do it again, and keep going. You know, because the worst thing you can do is put that bow in your closet and just say, I am done with this. I am not doing it anymore, because, listen, missing is part of bow hunting.
It's just life. So speaking of that, to Jeff's credit, he gets back out there, and you know we go a few more times. Nothing really happens, and then we're sitting there early October, and a couple small bucks, but still, he doesn't care about the size of the buck, and it makes him happy. Hoorah! We're sitting there watching these two little bucks fight it out like a little, like a 4-point and a spike or something like that.
Right.
And they're in there, dude. It's kind of cool. We're watching them, you know, kind of fight, and they're making scrapes, and they're doing all the things November deer do.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, they come on over past us, and again, about a 35-yard shot, I'd say.
Yeah.
Gets the bow, schwack, hits the deer.
Hits the deer.
I'm thinking, boys, we done did it. Jeffrey finally got his buck. Here we go. Dude, we found the arrow. There's nothing on it.
Oh, no. Nothing on the arrow at all. No blood, no hair, no nothing?
No, nothing. I'm like, I know we hit the deer. I watched it happen.
Yeah.
Well, for those that don't know, there's a little thing called no man's land in the deer hunting world. It ain't very big, but it's there.
No, it's there.
And, you know, so it's a spot in the deer where you literally, it passes through. And, of course, you know, wrong, I'm sure it doesn't feel great to the deer. Obviously, it just had an arrow run through its body. But it doesn't hit anything vital. You know, it's essentially, I'm assuming, just muscle of some kind. I mean, I'm no expert, but that's what it seemed like to me. And I got that deer on camera like 2 days later. It was live. We searched and searched and searched just to make sure, but you know, obviously we got it back on camera, so you know it lived. And that again, it just happens. Even when you hit the deer, sometimes every once in a blue moon, something wackadoodle crazy like that happens. And I felt so bad, dude, for Jeff. He, you know, to his credit, he's just going out there trying, grinding it out, and you know, that's life.
Well, the good news is that the deer showed back up. You know, nobody wants to wound a deer. None of us do. We want to be ethical. We all want to make good, clean shots. But the fact of it is that you're going to have that situation sometimes. And I would much rather know that the deer survived than being coyote bait. That bothers me more than anything.
It's awful
when it comes to hunting with the archery equipment. Is if you do end up wounding a deer, and fatally wounding it to where you can't find it, but it still dies. That's one of the worst things, man. I hate it. I mean, I hate every second of it, but it's part of it, man. And you just have to spend the time practicing and knowing your equipment. And even when you practice with that bow, you're still going to have situations where you do something just a little off or something's just not right. It's going to happen. Even if you're perfect, you can't always be perfect every single time you hit the deer woods and, draw back on a deer, buck, doe, whatever it is. The good thing is though that deer showed back up and he got to live another day. And that's what we like to see is if we're going to wound them, we want them to live. But the goal is not to wound a deer. Do not take that the wrong way. We're not saying it's okay to wound a deer. We're saying do everything you possibly can to make those perfect ethical shots. That's what we're getting at here.
And it's just part of it. It does happen. Obviously you don't want it to, but I had a buddy, unfortunately we lost the deer and never found it. I mean, there was blood everywhere, and I don't know, man. That deer died somewhere, I'm sure, but so that was a different buddy of mine. I mean, dude, it just happens. It just happens.
Now let's fast forward just a little bit. After you took Jeff, he shot at that deer. I'm pretty sure that you went out on your own and took a really nice doe with that brand new bow from Bass Pro Shops.
I did. That bow was sweet too. Is still, is. It's freaking awesome. Man, we went in there to Bass Pro, and there's a video on the Rooted Television YouTube page. But just to kind of give you the moral of the story, Ben and I went to Bass Pro, and we rolled in there to Nashville, Tennessee, and
Vegas.
They got us hooked up, man. What was it, Billy? Was that his name?
Yeah, it was Mr. Billy who set up the bows for us, and he was
a bow tech boy. That guy, gun, man. He knew what he was doing, man.
That dude knew everything. I mean, it was just like watching a finely tuned machine just working on all the different parts of that bow to set it up, for us. And man, the crazy thing was the first time I shot the bow at 20 yards, he was so good at setting everything up. It was almost on right out of the box after he set it up. It didn't take much to get us where we needed to be to go home and start practicing again. And that just, is a lot to him and his knowledge and his ability to set up those bows so well.
Yeah, it was incredible. I had a great time. And again, Mr. Billy was super, super knowledgeable, and he knew exactly what he was doing. So kudos to him, and thanks to him for setting us up. So, and that was right in, middle of October, basically on a random weekday. We went over there and just knocked it out, but then, shot, and then I felt good and I was ready to go. So yeah, man, I'm out there, and same plot as Jeff missed the bigger deer, and I said I'm shooting a doe. One, I want to break in this bow, but two, I gotta see something die, because I've at this point probably watched 2 or 3 deer be missed, so I was just ready to watch something hit the dirt. And sure enough, this nice doe comes out. Dude, this is one of those situations, and this happens a lot in bow hunting. You're almost waiting for that perfect time to pull back, and it just never comes.
Yeah. And you have that.
She comes out about 60 yards, and I'm like, okay, if she gets over this little hump, about 40, she'll start to turn, and I'll shoot her there. Dude, on a beeline right to me. And I'm like, holy crap, man. I don't want to shoot this deer head on. And, you feel like the deer's staring into your soul, every time you look at it. And you're just like, don't move, don't move, don't move. And, dude, she's like 25 yards. And I'm like, dude, if you put your head down to eat for just a freaking second, I'm pulling this bow back. And man, she just never really did. I felt good enough. I didn't, it didn't feel right. And then she turns away from me. So she's looking at me, kind of quarters to me, and then turns hard. And now I'm just seeing her rear end, and she's walking away. And I'm
Right.
like, gosh, dang it, dude. I'm shooting this deer. So now the deer's away from me, and I just pull back, and I just wait. And
I was about to say, I hope you didn't do the Texas heart shot.
buddy, I thought about it. I said, swing. But, dude, and so, by the way, I'm filming this, too. Trying to film for Rooted Television here.
Yeah.
And, dude, she turns. And this is just life, man. I lean. And hey, man, you got to give him the old meh.
Oh, got to give him the meh.
So I gave her that and felt good. Everything anchored, everything was good. I released. Was not good. Hit her way back. Did not like. I hit her, and down she went. And I knew immediately. I was like, that was not good. So, right. Within 10 seconds, I'm out there, slap another one in her. I'd say from the first shot to the time she expired, less than 45 seconds. Not at all ideal. Not the bow's fault, not the arrow's fault. My fault.
Operator error on that one.
There's no one to blame. I was shooting amazing. Here I got actually got a brand new deer target, and I was trying to make it as real as I could,
Right.
I was shooting good, man, all the way up to like 50 yards. So I was like, and I think that's part of it is one, I almost felt too good. Like I was like, I didn't go through my mental checklist of, okay, bang, bang. I got the little kisser button, is that good? Something that I do is when I look through my peep, the circle of my peep needs to line, my sight has a circle in it, I think it's white, and I line up those circles like all my mental checklist, and I think I was just so dead set on shooting, I forgot, I don't want to say I forgot to aim, but kind of, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like I was so focused on this, I missed the steps to get to that point.
Right.
And happens, man.
Yeah, it does. It happens. Well, let me tell you about my deer season, John. This is hands down the absolute worst deer season I have ever had. Probably in my last 10 years of life. So, you know how we do. We go in, we plant all the food plots, we do everything right. I try to stay off the farm during hunting season unless we're hunting. If it's one of the plots down in the valley, we walk. We try not to take side-by-sides in there as little as possible. But, man, the only thing I can think as to why a deer would not be in a lush food plot would be because of the massive acorn crop that's in the woods. And the problem lies there that, we couldn't even get them on camera much in the woods because there were so many acorns on the ground. They didn't have to move very far to eat. Yep. And there's so much water on the property that, they don't have to go very far to get water, food, bed. So you may or may not, get to see them. And the hard part is even if you know where they are, is getting to them without them knowing that you're there. That is one of the biggest hurdles that we've had to try to overcome is the access side of things. But, it's really weird because I would have bet just about anything that you could go into the Field of Dreams and see deer every single set, and you're more than likely going to kill a nice buck some point in the season. Well, that was not the case this year. Absolutely not. Me and you sat there one time, saw 2 does or 4 does, but I could have shot one of those does. I could have, but
it's not like you didn't have. I'm not going to say, you didn't have the opportunity to shoot a single deer,
right?
But the mature buck was. Last year we saw quite a few. Yeah. This season over there on that ranch is like. Dude, I've only seen on the hoof. I've seen one this year.
Yeah,
it's
same
like,
here, man.
dude, what in the world? So yeah, man, to your point, it's like, and we had a good acorn crop, and I love that.
Mhm.
And I can hear everybody. We'll hunt the woods. We did.
Yeah, we did hunt the
we
woods.
did a lot, and because we were like,
Yeah,
they're not in the food plots. Let's go.
right.
And to your point, hey, look, dude, if a deer doesn't have to move far, he ain't.
He
Especially a
ain't
big
gonna move
mature one.
far.
I mean, if
No,
he's like,
those.
I gotta
Yeah.
go 500 yards for food, 500 yards for water, back to bed. That's
Mhm.
all he's moving, and and
Yep.
again, trying to find that area this year for whatever reason harder than others, and then again, when you do find it, not bumping them out.
Right.
Yada yada
And
yada.
you
So
know, man, I
it's
sat
tough.
in the Field of Dreams 10 different sets this year and saw 0 deer. Last year, I sat several times, probably 15 times,
You
and
always
there was
saw 'em,
only 2 occasions that I did not see deer last year in the Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Which is totally mind blowing to me that the huge shift, even with a big acorn crop, man, you would think that there would be some kind of deer activity
Well, yeah,
where that field lays because it's in between 2 big ridges. There's logging roads that pour into it. You would absolutely think that there is going to be a deer in there at some point or another. And man, they just were not using it this year. And a lot of our plots, they were feeding at night. And I just think that's really weird because, that's usually not how they operate at the farm. They usually, you're going to see something, at least a doe or a small buck or something in those big food plots that we plant. Cause, we spend a lot of time on making this place what it is. And it
yeah,
gets kind of frustrating and discouraging when you're sitting there thinking, man, look at these beautiful food plots that are knee deep in brassicas, clover, oats, wheat, and then there's no deer. There's absolutely nothing
man.
showing
In
up.
the moment, that's tough. I mean, when you're in that moment and you're looking at all your hard work and there's just nothing paying off for it, you're like, I mean, dude, there are times during the season I'm like, I want to give up. Screw deer hunting. I'm tired of this crap. I don't want to do it anymore. And man,
Yeah.
when it's rough, dude.
Oh man, it
But
is rough. But luckily, we have
still
a
love it.
backup plan. We still love it, and we have a backup plan because even though the season in Tennessee is coming to an end, we can segue down to the Twin Rivers farm in Alabama and hunt the remainder of January. And I think it's a week or two in February for the whitetail deer and hogs, ducks. We're going to give it a try. I'm actually headed down there first thing in the morning to reload the cameras and try to figure out what's going on. I'll probably sit a little bit. And, man, quite frankly, those deer have not started their rut yet in that part of the state. So I will more than likely shoot a doe just because I am ready to take a deer. My trigger finger is itching, my friend, and I'm going to have to scratch it. If some hogs come out, you better just believe that old Weatherby 257 mag is going to bark right in an ear hole. Guaranteed.
I'm excited for it, dude. I really am. But so all in all, the Tennessee season here has been pretty rough. I even during muzzleloader season, I watched a couple people, a buddy of mine, my dad missed some, and I don't know, dude, what it is. It's like if I go with somebody, they miss this year, and I'm like, maybe I'm the bad luck, dude.
Maybe you are, John.
I don't know.
Maybe you are
man.
the bad luck.
It's awful, dude. And then finally during rifle season, I got my buddy Kevin. I got him. He shot a like a little forker, 4 or 6, whatever it was.
Nice.
No, and he's super excited. And then he actually went out. This is cool. I had nothing to do with this. I was not there. He has this other spot that he could hunt, and he shot his first mature deer. It was a beautiful 9-pointer, stud of a buck. So that was super cool. Somebody I know shot a flipping buck. At least somebody did.
Yeah, at least somebody killed a nice buck, But listen, we still have the rest of the month of January to go down, spend some time in Alabama, and try to get one of those big bucks on the ground, because you have seen the pictures. We have some absolute hammers on that farm, and I think the ticket's going to be going during the middle of the week when the other club members are not there, and we can, slip in and no distractions, no noises, nobody riding the roads, just ease in quietly and try to kill a deer and get it on camera, and heck, shoot some ducks while we're there. And if an old pig comes out, you already know what's going to happen to that rascal.
Oh, yeah.
Pork loins and bacon coming to you. Yeah.
Dude, I tell you, man, I got so tired of deer hunting here. I just started goose hunting around here. Oh, yeah. Canada goose, little honkers.
Man, I'm kind of surprised that we don't get more waterfowl in our area with the cut cornfields and stuff like that. But we just don't. We have a handful of wood ducks that live on our creek, but we never get, a whole lot of migratory birds in the area of our farm.
Crazy.
Which is kind of weird, but I also think that, this will be a story for another day, but I'll talk about the Louisiana trip. Boy, you want to talk about a fun goose hunt. We wore them out. Those old speckle bellies or giggle chickens, like I call them, they didn't stand a chance. And boy, they sure are good. They are real good.
Dude, I was goose hunting right here next to Dad's house. And so, you get a few flocks that fly from pond to pond, and then it's pretty much over here. I don't live in a flyway. And anyway, these geese are flying, and I'm calling at them. Then this pair comes out of nowhere and joins them. And I'm like, okay, cool. And more geese. Awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Well, dude, I get to looking. I'm like, those geese look different. Dude, 2 snow geese came and joined them Canada geese.
No way. 2 snows joined the Canadas?
In East Tennessee.
Did y'all kill them?
Heck no, but them snow geese didn't give a crap about me.
Well, the funny thing about that is your brother sent me a text and said, hey, John needs a new duck call. I said, man, y'all just need me to come call for you.
Jimmy, dude, you want to hear? Okay, here's a call story for you.
This call story about Mr. Jimmy.
Dude, all right, me and him bought new goose calls last year at the turkey show, or a couple years ago, whatever.
Yeah, that was last year.
Anyway, we get these new calls, and they're nice. They're middle of the road to me. I am no waterfowl caller. Listen, I know there's a world out there, and I'm sorry for you folks that spend this money. I am not spending $150, $200 on a call. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I know, I'm sure they're great and they're amazing, and I love that for y'all. I ain't doing it. Yeah. So anyway, buy this call. Sounds like a goose to me. I love it. Jimmy buys the same call. Okay.
Right.
Well, his call, his O-ring, which again, probably why you don't buy a middle of the road call. His O-ring is shot. And the thing, buddy, it ain't sticking together. It's falling all sorts of apart. And he's trying to blow it. Man. He can't blow that rig anyway. I said, Jimmy, just quit, dude. We'll fix it later. You sound awful. So, anyway, dude, we go to Harbor Freight to buy an O-ring kit. We find one, that works.
Right.
And he puts it back together, and it still sounds like crap. Well, then he thinks he can fix it. He pops the soundboard and the readout. Oh, yeah. Goes everywhere.
Now it sounds even worse than it did to start with.
It took us half an hour to figure out and look at my call, and we finally got it perfect, and it started sounding good again finally. But, dude, I was like, Jimmy, just stop. Just quit.
Yeah, just cut it out, man.
I mean, you sound like a scalded cat, man. Getting
scalded cat.
To death. Gosh dang, dude. I'm like, we ain't gonna kill crap, dude.
No, you ain't gonna kill nothing like that.
And I'll tell you what, buddy. We did some. We didn't brush the blind. that good.
Didn't
Either.
even brush the blind, John. Come on,
no,
man.
we didn't brush it good. It
Yeah,
was
and
bad.
you know how I am about brushing blinds. So if I would have been there, I'd have been like, "Boys, this ain't acceptable at all."
No, it was awful. It was bad. I ain't gonna lie about it. It was rough.
Good
But
night.
I think next time there's a good old tree, I think I'm just gonna hunker down on that rig and go to honking. But hey, good news is this is a true story. My brother for Christmas, he came down and he got me some Northern Flight goose decoys, and those things are slick.
Yeah,
I like them. They're nice now.
Listen, I'll tell you, I am a fan of the Northern Flight gear from Cabela's. It is top quality stuff, man. It's really good.
Look, I'll just tell you, they had it on sale. 4-pack floaters, 4-pack, $50. And I mean, they are top freaking notch, man.
They are. They look great, man. I've got the big spread mallards, and dude, they look great. And the paint seemed to hold up pretty well. You know how I am. I'm going to do a test, and I took and set a couple out on my boat, for 2 or 3 months to see if, they'll fade or anything like that. And dude, they ain't faded yet. They look really good.
Hey, what's this called when on the goose stick? I know it's not felt, but it feels like almost like a velvety felt head.
Flocking. It's called flocked. Yep.
Dude, that's what these are. I thought
so. The flocking looks more like real feathers than,
plastic,
just just the plastic design. So,
yeah, man. Again, obviously, as you guys can tell, I'm not an expert waterfowler. That's why I hang out with Ben. But hey,
sometimes I question my motives and question my abilities to kill waterfowl. But listen, we're going to go down there to Alabama, and we'll talk about waterfowl in another episode. But there is a real nice backwater slough that floods every year because you have the Tom Bigby and the Sipsey that meet right there. The confluence is right there at the border of the club.
Sounds like a Cole family reunion, Bigsby and whoever else is coming to the party.
yeah, that's it for sure, man. But we're gonna try to get us some ducks killed down there. But mainly, man, I just want to get a deer on the ground, and I've got some really nice deer there. And I think if I just go and spend some time in the woods down there and get my mind off, this Tennessee season, that it's going to be really good in the long run. And you know what, man? There's next year. We'll get into the baiting laws that are changing for this upcoming 26 season.
Oh, yeah.
But I really think, though, that next year is going to be the year because we're also adding some new food plots to the farm, which is going to be super exciting. We're doing food plots, and then we're also, part of that is clearing ground for bedding area on the side of these ridges. So that way we can have a lot of good habitat for these deer to thrive.
And to clarify, you're doing food plots up top on the ridges.
Yes, top of the ridges. That's where the food plots are going to be. We got a logging company coming in, and they're going to log out specific areas for the food plots, and then we'll remove the stumps and all that stuff in the exact food plot area, and the rest of it we'll let the stumps grow back up or just leave the stumps there. Now, another thing that we're going to do this fall or this spring is plant a bunch of fruit trees. So like apples, persimmons, pear trees throughout the farm in different locations, just so we can give the habitat a little bit more for these deer to have throughout the year. Because, man, we've got wild persimmons and plenty of oak trees, but I still want to give them everything I possibly can to increase their likelihood of surviving, thriving, and growing to the best genetic possibility they can be.
Yeah. It's that. It helps you out, maybe potentially they, are coming to the trees or whatever, and you can try to kill one under one, but it just helps everything. And I think that's also important is the constant planning. I mean, even when I'm sitting there and I'm in the middle of the suck, right? And it's like all this missing's happening, taking new people kind of hard, still love it. It's always like, well, what can I do next year? What can I do next season? Right. to make it better, or what can I do during the off season to make my next season better. All those things you're always running through your mind, man, of like,
oh yeah,
man, what in the world? And the thing I don't get, and again, I'm no expert, but it's like I just don't understand the, I make this beautiful clover plot, and then now it's post rut, and I'm like, they're gonna come hit green fields.
right.
Here we go. That's
then
what's
they didn't.
always happened, man.
Yeah.
When it's late season, cold,
Yeah,
I could always count on when in doubt, hunt the green field.
yeah, exactly. And they
I thought,
didn't do it.
here we go. And dude,
Nope, they
no, couple
didn't do it.
does, but like I'm like, surely to goodness, a buck's gonna come. No.
But the moral of the story is, guys, is you just got to keep your head on straight. Don't let it get you down, and keep going. Keep chugging along, and keep doing what that Genesis 27:3 says. Take your bow and quiver, go out to the field, and hunt some game for me. That's what you got to do. And remember, any day that you get to sit out in God's creation and watch it come to life is a reward within itself. Keep that in mind.
It's always incredible, no matter how good, how bad. Always just enjoy the life, be grateful, because you never know when it's going to be your last time out there, man. You just never.
That's it.
Ever.
You never know. You never know.
That's that, man. But now we're looking forward. We still got some waterfowl hunting left to do, a little bit of deer hunting in Alabama, and we're not giving up. We're not giving up.
We're not going to give up. I'm going to get a buck on the ground, John, and we're going to go back down there in a couple weeks, and we're going to hammer down on some ducks, hogs, deer, whatever we can get a hold of. We're going to chase them.
Whatever's legal. I will say,
yes, whatever's legal.
Last little thing here. I did take a little hiatus, and I said, screw all this deer stuff, and I went down to Georgia to go see my brother, and well, we did some god awful Georgia public land duck hunting. That was terrible. It was as good as it sounds. The hunting was terrible. The company and the camaraderie and the memories made with my dad and my brother was top tier. I wouldn't have changed it for the world. But however, the duck hunting was trash. We shot one wood duck. Anyway, one of those days we decided to slip on down to Florida, and we went fishing for. We caught redfish. We caught what were those things called? Sea trout or something?
Speckled trout, spotted trout.
Yeah, spotted trout, I think. And Dad caught a flounder of all the things.
Man, sounds like a good upcoming episode.
Now, dude, that trip, that was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds like a great episode.
Oh yeah, it's all on the. Got GoPro, and the old FX30 was out there on the boat getting it and ripping it.
Good.
But, oh, man, it was that was awesome. We caught, I don't know, 10 to 12 fish apiece in we went for 4 or 5 hours, whatever it was. And that was super awesome because it was, obviously it was saltwater, but I had never fished. It was almost like, it was weird. It's like marshy, real shallow water. Like I was not expecting. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting that. Like whenever I think ocean, I think of just like all this deep water, and it just wasn't that. It was super cool, something new, and yeah, man, it was awesome. And dude, we went to some redneck areas, man. We rode up in this spot, and mind you, we're in a flipping minivan.
Excellent. The old minivan cruising. Heck
minivan, dude.
Heck yeah.
and down this dirt road. And it's some hillbilly way to get here. And we park underneath this random, like, super tall house, basically. And because, of course, there they have to build their houses on, stilts and way up in the air because of the flooding. And, dude, we get out. I'm getting all of our gear ready, coolers, camera gear, all that stuff. Right. And I look up, and this dude's like, hey. And we're like, whoa, hey, man, what's up? I'm old hillbilly country Florida redneck come out there shirtless. I thought, hey, this is it. This is how I die.
This is how it ends.
And He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going fishing." He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Well, yeah, I am." And I told him the outfitter dude, Tanner, I think was his name, and I said, "Yeah, I'm with Tanner." He said, "Oh, okay, well, that's fine. You just go on down there." I thought,
Yeah.
"Good night." He said, I thought, boy, this is gonna get rough, but that was the little break I had to take in my deer season to go down and go shoot some ducks and catch some fish. That was my first red and speckled trout or whatever it was, whatever they were. It was a lot of fun, dude. I loved it. So little side quests. Every once in a while, those are nice to have. So
hey, man, there's nothing like doing a trip where you can do multi things while you're there. It's like that old South Georgia Slam. But when you said minivan, that sparked a memory for me. For me and you actually going to PA when we had to get that U-Haul minivan to finish the trip. That was awful.
That a minivan. That was like a cargo truck, dude. The seats in this thing, there was no reclining.
Straight up.
Like
you
a piece of plywood.
Yeah, boy, and you felt every ball. Good night. That thing shook.
And then Pennsylvania roads are awful.
Oh, man, they were terrible. Oh, they were terrible.
They're like Lego blocks put together, and they get smoothed out, you know? Good grief. Yeah, that was rough. Mm-hmm.
Yep, but we've got a lot of good content coming for you guys, and we're going to be, our goal is to upload new episodes every single week, and we appreciate all the support along the way.
Absolutely.
And like always, the best way to help us grow is to like and subscribe and hit those notifications and tell your buddies. Tell everybody about us.
Tell them Rooted Podcast is back, baby.
Rooted Podcast is back, and this year's going to be better than ever.
Absolutely. We got a plan. We're ready to go. We're going to give y'all some great content, just like Ben said, on the TV side, on the podcast side, everything. I'm really excited for this year, for sure.
You and me both, brother. Well, with that,
on that note,
the Redneck's out.
See y'all.